All right, all right, all right. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jimmy, and I'm joined by the lovely Samurai. This is the part where you say something, Samurai.
Oh, I thought you were gonna introduce me. SunriseSamuraii. How's it going, man?
No, you're good. Yeah, so it's me and Sunshine, Sunrise. He's just radiant today. That's the key here. Um, they blind picked. Oh wait. Whoops. Okay, they blind picked. So let's just review the teams real quick because I was expecting to have a little bit more time here, but let's just go through it. So we got Josh from Asia. I can't say Asia today. Josh from Asia on the Vamana. We got Dragoon Hachi. We got Jose Manit, and I'm gonna assume that's how you pronounce that. Um, on the Bastet, Destroyers Giannis, and I'm not saying that name. I'm gonna call him Pog, and that's Athena. So what do you think of blue side here?
Blue Set's a super strong team. Jose on the Bastet. Bastet's been slapping a lot lately. You got Dragon, you got Destroyer. That's a lot of heavy hitters on one team.
I think that's definitely a very threatening comp. I do want to point out the double global. Like that's just an insane amount of lane pressure at any time, anywhere. Like they can go wherever they want instantaneously. They can have Basta jump in, Athena, Giannis right on top. And of course, Famana with an Athena ult. That's just overall extremely threatening. Meanwhile, on Chaos side, red team, we have Elfrost on the Rat, Pandora on the Yuhong, J Swerve Jormungandr, Screams Ares, and Yotsuyu Uller. There is a Yotsuyu, so I gotta make sure I pronounce it correctly. So, how are we feeling? What do you think in terms of team matchups here, Samurai? Like, are we leaning one way or the other?
You brought up the globals from the order side. KS tried to counter it as best as they could. They have the Rat. Assume that's going to solo. Yorm with his ult. Also Yotozu on Uller. Real strong picks. This should be a good match.
Yeah, we got the Euler, that's a threat right there. One of the more I would say, arguably, one of the most mechanical characters in Smite because it's passive with that reduced, I believe it's 2 seconds of reduced cooldowns on the other stance when you use, so if you arrow stance, use an ability, it reduces the axe stance's cooldowns by 2 seconds, just for clarity. The same is true on the other side. So you can pull off some really just mechanical finesse, one might say, with that specific character. However, similarly, Pandora on the Yu Huang, also an, I would say, undervalued amount of skill that can be channeled into that one character with the constant Dow buffing your autos, 3 of your abilities. I mean, I'm actually not sure what it does to the 2, to the root, but I know it buffs the 1 proc shred, I believe. The 3 gets a knock up, and then the ult has like 15 different ways that it can be buffed. So, very high mechanics based team comp, at least in terms of the 2 backliners.
KS side is definitely gonna have to make sure that they're on their A game right now with the strong pick from Jose on the Bastet. That's gonna shut down that Yuhang real early. Right now, I'm leaning towards Order side is gonna take this one.
Well, we got ourselves a match Celestial Division. This is game 4 of last Friday's matches. And I'm just expecting a banger. Honestly, I'm with you. I kind of lean towards Order side. Early leads can prove fatal for Pandora's team because you just have so much power with Bastet, so much instant burst, and then, like mentioned, Giannis Athena, just a very potent combination, able to get across the map in an instant, able to do a ton of damage instantaneously. The only difference here is I don't know how many times you've seen this, but I've seen it quite a bit. Giannis going towards the wall, right? Has the portal, able to escape, and gets sucked right back in with the Yu Huang dragons. Sucked right away from that little bit of safety he's got with his portals. So maybe we'll see an interaction like that. Who knows, honestly, but I am excited. I think there's a great potential from outplay from both sides.
Yeah, Chaos went real smart with the counter drafts here. The Ares is meant to shut down not only the Giannis, but the Bastet. We have the Yu Hang, as you mentioned, to displace her as much as possible. This is going to be a real mechanic showdown, and this is a strong team from both sides. A lot of Celestials showed up for this game, so I expect to see some high level play.
Now I like to dive into builds honestly because I have some questions, honestly. I think it's quite interesting. We got a little bit of poke coming out in mid lane, no heavy commits. The solo laners, as usual, seem to have used a good 60% of their health bars already to brawl with each other on wave 1. But in terms of builds, right, we're seeing a different build than I would expect from a Yu Huang. We're going right into the cooldown, immediately into Sands of Time. Meanwhile, Giannis seems to be going that Chronos Pendant, future Gem of Focus, current Conduit Gem build that we see pretty much every Giannis do. Meanwhile, in terms of the jungle side, it seems like they're both looking at Transcendence. I'm kind of surprised Rat not rushing the Acorn. He seems to have plans. Oh, we got a blink in mid, actually, as I mentioned that. For us, just looking for appears to be poke. Mid laners seem to kind of be equal, but we get jump in from Bastet. Not level 3 yet. Giannis gets dash on. Good portal. Do we see an unstable? We do, and the minions say thank you very much. Bastet doesn't appear to have the jump, not going to chase down the Yu Huang, so Pandora gets out with her life. But first blood to the Order side.
Yeah, Rat tried to do what he did there, and unfortunately he put Pandora in a bad position. She took some half health shots, so that left him on his own when he went for that re-engage. She still had to sit back and play it as safe as possible. To go back to the builds that you were talking about, definitely a questionable decision from the Rat to start rushing that Transcendence rather than finish the Acorn. Unfortunately, that's going to put him a little behind. He is lucky that Bastet seems to be doing the same exact thing, going for that Transcendence. Right now, we're looking at some late game builds. The Yu Hang possibly stacking Thoth as well. Although they're scrapping early, this is definitely one where they picture this is going to go a long way.
Now, actually, notably, Rat has tripled down, and he's continuing the Transcendence. He did not buy the second tier of the Acorn. He is building the second tier of Transcendence now, so he's even further away from finishing the Acorn, which, again, I think similar to how we used to do with the boots meta. I know that's foreign policy for some of you that have no idea what I'm talking about, but Smite did used to have boots a few years back, and you would go them first on many characters. You would maybe do what Rat did with the tier 1 of an item, but then you'd immediately finish your boots first and then finish your next item. So it's kind of surprising to me to see him not going into that. Like, I'm with you. I think, albeit weird, still possible to just have the tier 1 Transcendence extra power, and then while you're out and about doing the jungle, you can buy the Acorn. You don't have to go back to the base. So, finish up the Acorn, but still have that extra, 10 power. I'm not sure if it has MP5 on the tier 1 of Transcendence, but I believe it's 10 power.
Tier 1
so.
and Tier 2 have MP5, so Rat is a very mana-hungry god. Ooh, going into a fight in the duo lane, Ares hitting some chains.
Just, seems to be an engage actually from the junglers here. We have rotations from Bastet, and Rat is actually looking towards mid camps, but then they're going to be rotating low. We got an Ares ult coming in. Bastet ult countered in immediately. Shuts down Scream. Although we have Rat landing in. Athena getting those mitigations. Will she be able to escape the Rat? No, she will not. But immediately shot back from Bastet to shut down Elfrost, prevent him from getting any further kills. Uller jumps out. A fantastic Giannis portal actually made the Hachi ult miss, I believe, but it didn't matter. Was able to get the auto attack off of his portal, so that is a 3-for-1, I believe, in favor of Orside.
Yeah, there was a phenomenal counter rotation. The Bastet showed up first. Order side thought that they were going to bounce back with a double man rotation between the mid and the Rat. And the Giannis showing up just completely changed that fight in their favor.
Now, we do have a situation, though. Pandora did not necessarily full commit to that fight. I believe she was there just to provide a little bit of possibility, but didn't immediately... Oh, good juke there, good backstep. She's going to get hit with this, too, surely. I don't think Giannis misses from that range. Although, bit out of position, bit out of mana, and there's the dragons. Off the mark, unfortunately. Doesn't force the relic either from Giannis. He does have his beads up, but close call. Out of mana as a Giannis with your portal down, not necessarily the best position you want to be, especially next to the enemy tier 1 tower. But that threshold was just enough to peel that off.
Yeah, it was a good play on Pandora's part, recognizing that he didn't have mana to try and shut him down. Unfortunately, that Yu-Hang ult has that 1.2-second channel, so it leaves you real hard stuck to hit that as a skill ability without any setup. Rat wasted his 3 at the initiation, and she wasn't able to confirm.
Now, notably, as I say that, of course, Athena does finish the Gauntlet of Thieves, but actually, Ares does have a bit of a lead. He's got 15 stacks to his name already on his Gauntlet of Thieves, whereas she just left base with hers. So, you know, it's a little bit, assuming the pacing stays roughly the same, Ares will have that odd line much faster. And also, as Ares passive does give you a boost for the auras, he's got that aura already cooking, and they seem to be using that to good effect here to secure at least, well, Ares actually is rotated towards mid camps now, but I was going to say secure the left Scorpion. The Hunters are just doing their usual dueling. It would appear that Uller stole it away because Hachi was standing there, probably a little tilted, and he did not pick it up, so I would say that's a Chaos victory on the Scorpion's left side. Now, just actually an Ares ult, but follow-up does not seem to be on their side, although Pandora's looking for it. Does not land the one, but Rat lands the ult, but Giannis gets the portal out just in time. Doesn't even use the beads, and then he ults
Comes
back
back
in,
in.
and just barely off the mark with the dragons. However, Ares doesn't get the flame tick because of the Giannis portal. So Giannis survives.
Dream tried to do
Wow, what
everything he
it's
could to put the team on his back there. He wasn't missing any chains for 3 ability rotations. Tried the Blinking under tower, and that's the first chain that he misses in probably the last 7 minutes. That's very unfortunate. A big swing for the order
well,
side.
it's a bad dash in there for the tier 1. The minion's gonna clean that up, but they do get the Athena, little consolidation, or consolation prize there. Doesn't appear to be any further engage. I want to point out that Giannis had like less than 10% health and ulted back in and still lived. I mean, of course, if he hits the chain, then different tale, but it's still kind of crazy to me to ult back in as Giannis. I'm understanding, like, trying to get the damage off, but he went through the portal. He was, like, right there. So I think Destroyer's feeling himself right now. He's feeling a little loose right now.
Destroyer's a beast of this league. He's already put his name on the map. Most teams are afraid of him, and he's showing exactly why on this Giannis pick right now.
He's hitting these portals. That's at least 4 back-to-back abilities, and he's looking for it right now. He does have ult coming back up at some point soon, but I'm not sure that this is a good idea. He does miss the Giannis ult, and that's an Ares ult, and that's a kill. Scream with the amazing jukes and really intelligent counterplay with the ult there. Just picture perfect, pretty much. And he got Giannis speeds, actually, because he thought he would live the damage. So,
That was a
pretty
big
much
gold
a net
swing. They were sitting
massive net
about
gain.
12k above at that point, 1200 above at that point. Now we've cut that lead down to about 700. I gotta put a lot of emphasis on Josh from Asia's play right now. You traditionally think like the Yorm is your lane bully, your dominator. He's been holding a staunch level lead above him this entire game. You gotta give him a lot of credit for
That's a
the
rough
mono
jump
pick.
back from the Bastet. And
Ooh.
that's a death. But yeah, you're completely right here. He's been showing us who the big baby is. And it's, for once, it's not Famana. So that was Bastet, ult exhausted on that front, and just a clean blink out from screen to avoid the Giannis damage. Athena's kind of low here. If they look to make a play up, and as I say that,
Ooh, Dragon pulls off a solo kill and a purple steal.
that's a little bit of a swing there. Oh, he's actually 2 levels up already, and another amazing portal from Destroyer. This man is on a mission right now. That mission is just to hit the portals, apparently.
Just as we were praising Josh from Asia for his ability to stick in with this, you kind of gotta give it to Yatso on the other side for not sticking in it. Uller from behind is not where you want to be. Sitting 15 trans stacks at 9 minutes is pretty unfortunate. He's kind of got a hole that he has to dig himself out from at this point.
And well, he's now digging himself out of another hole. That's a double rat stun. Indeed, he just used 2 flurries. He has the defense acorn. That is a play. And I'm be honest with you. Okay, I've been cooking with something like that. I've been thinking that that is a viable strategy to go full damage rat and just buy the acorn that strips protections, so you can just have 2 flurries. And right there, he showed us all how it's done, because that I do not think that kill happens if he goes another Acorn. I actually think he needed the full damage of both flurries there, and he got it and he used it.
Not only that, that's once the trans is finished, he's sitting at 20% CDR, so he's gonna be able to get a lot of things off. He's trying to counter match that Giannis global, so we're gonna see a lot of Through the Cosmos coming out whenever he's has the ability to finish that trans.
Also, notably, Pandora's already at 50 stacks on this book. I think she's only had it for like 4 minutes, so it's very impressive and efficient farming coming out for her. She's going to have this done in another maybe minute, minute and a half, so that's going to be a huge power spike to get that 10 flat pen it provides online, as well as it appears she's going into tablet, so she's going to have that like heavy, heavy power from book, and oh, Jormungandr could be in some trouble here, but he just immediately ults. He's looking maybe to defend the blue. We got a 4-man rotation coming in, but nothing really doing here. It looks like Rat maybe wants to see if anyone's out to lunch here. Destroyer, a little bit in
Destroyer's waiting
trouble.
right by that portal.
Nothing doing though. Oh, and they did catch J Swervy though. Good Giannis ult gets the team in, and Elfrost is gonna have to get out. And I don't think I want to know what that air result was about. I think we're just gonna have to not talk about that and just pretend like we didn't see that at the perfect time.
They saw the overload on right side and tried to make something else happen, but Hachi being easily one of the safest carries in the game right now, between the dash, beads, and his ult, my man can sit behind that tower as long as he wants to.
And notably, Hachi's actually going for that crit build that's so popular nowadays, where he's going to have the Ornate Arrow and then most likely either a Rage or a Deathbringer in his 6th slot. So he'll have an unsuspecting amount of crit. Now, the real question is, does Ares notice that and buy a Spectral? Because Spectral does have an aura now, so it will boost his passive as well. So it's a very good item for him in this case, but that's only if he realizes what Hachi is looking to do here.
With how flexible builds are right now, it's very interesting that he rushes into this second item, especially knowing how much damage his Destroyer is doing. You can tell they're pretty afraid of Jose's best stat at this time.
Most certainly, and I would believe that it's actually interesting to me because despite the lead in dual lane, we just have a fight breaking out here. Unfortunately, Yasuo goes wide, doesn't manage to do any damage to Ares here, but Destroyer's low. The question is, do they give this up? Because Otsuyu has rotated in. It's actually a 4v3 right now because we do have Hachi rotating in as well. It just seems to be a little bit of dancing around at this point. Destroyer almost dies in the backline, but we have Elfrost showing us again the power of the Acorn. He secures the kill on Athena, and now he's looking to go in the same and just also gets best dead and immediately goes into the ult. He's looking to see if Dragoon's lazy backing. Dragoon, bit far away, not lazy backing. So that is going to keep... And Josh from Asia has also rotated, and Jormungandr says, I think not, sir. So that's going to be a huge gold swing, honestly, for Pandora's team. They actually were down, like you mentioned earlier, they were down on 2,000 gold. They're right back even, the gold difference of 27.
Yeah, big credit to the Chaos side on that one. They were definitely starting that fight with a man advantage, and they kept up the pressure. They were able to push back at him, wait for Jay Sorby's rotation, and pull out some big kills there. It all started with just getting Destroyer low. Once Destroyer misses that ult, takes a few damage, he has to back to base. Their team is sitting on the back foot.
So another thing I want to point out here, because we did talk about builds earlier, but I saw it, I just didn't want to point out necessarily until we were at this point, is that Josh from Asia has Prophetic, but he only has 16 stacks, and although we can't currently see what the distribution of that is, my bet is that it's mostly magical defense right now, which leaves him very susceptible to Ratatosker, who I just now noticed is going Archdruids for Fury, so it's a tank rat with Protection Shred, and Josh Major doesn't have a ton of protection right now against him. So it's quite easy to take down that big baby right now until he gets whatever would be a remaining probably like 10 stacks of physical protection. Although Pandora's getting a little bit heated here. An excellent Ares ult to peel, and then a Bastet ult, and then as I say that, Destroyer immediately shows me what through space and time looks like when it hits the target, and Pandora's back in fountain.
Yeah, going back to Josh from Asia's build, he has a Pharynx, so he's got a decent amount of physical protection right now. He's traditionally... Oh, and Athena takes a loss there to the Elfrost through the Cosmos play, and Scream sitting back with the Flames. Destroyer is sitting 1 health. but we've showed he's not afraid to stick around. Elfrost creeping around that T2 tower. Let's see if he's going to make a play here.
He's
You
got
just know
the
Destroyer
destroyer
staring at him.
his back.
Oh, the double blink!
The blink plays. I don't know if I would be willing to fight this, to be honest. I think this. I don't know about this. Frost doesn't seem to want to do anything here. Yeah, I don't know what Destroyer's doing because this is a very risky play here. Yeah, you're certainly very susceptible to that, to that acorn stun. However, the other thing I want to note on that entire thing, I don't even know if he hits an unstable if that kills Elfrost because of the Archdruids and tank Acorn. I actually
Would have
don't
been
know if he
very
dies.
close. As we talk often with tones and games of who's putting on the pressure to who, Destroyer is definitely one of those kind of people that tries to set the tone. That's why that double blink play, him going back at him, he wants Elfrost to know that you're not going to mess with him for free.
And notably, Bastet's trying to back up that same type of pressure, like you said. They're trying to invade the purple immediately, but Yotsuyu actually is looking to say, I don't think so, sir. Now, we got a Bastetto coming out, a decent stun, but I believe, I actually don't know who stunned him there. But Pandora said, doesn't matter who stunned you, I'm gonna hit you with a dragon. And that's a kill for, that's actually a kill to put Chaos back on the map in terms of kills. They're dead even now, and they're actually up 1,000 gold. We got a good Ares ult coming out. Will we see a Wombo combo with the Ratatosker? Most likely looking for a Destroyer to try to escape, and that's not going to be possible because he gets blown up by Through the Cosmos plus, you know, other rat abilities. So that is just a... And we almost have a solo kill from J-Swervy, really showing us the power of the Jormungandr. Takes the tower first, I believe, yes, that is the first tower of the game, and he's looking for more, but doesn't have the blue buff to his name, so that out of mana gonna prevent any further engagement here. Josh goes back to base
Big
safely.
credit goes to Yosoyu at the beginning of that fight. The Uller rotation sitting 0-3. Most people would rest on their laurels and try and farm their way back in. Yosoyu says, no, that's not my style. He jumps in, gets a beautiful axe on the Bastet, forces beads away. Oh, let's see. Dragoon's coming in. He wants that 1v1. He says, this is my purple buff. What are you doing? Takes
And
his third
truly,
kill of the game for a killing spree. As I was complimenting Yotsuyu, Dragoon said, no, I'm the carry on the map right now.
he said, my turn. And actually, interestingly enough, Yotsuyu had beads and Aegis and chooses to hold both of them. Now, I know that there is a lot of flack that can be given when people choose to, and we have a Gold Fury pull. Hang on a second before I go back to the beads usage here. We have a blink in from Ares, a triple pull here, only going to be double because Dragon, I should say not Dragon, Destroyer fires through space and time, but it is a rotation from Josh from Asia and a counter rotation from J-Story. J-Story picks up Destroyer as Scream will take a tumble, but Dragoon is in trouble here. He's getting an Athena ult. This could be a kill on Yorm. He does manage to find it with the Athena kill, or I should say the Athena taunt, but we have Josh from Asia wailing on the backline here. He has his protection stripped, so he is quite low, but he will get the last hit. Actually, it'll be, I believe, the bleed from Bastet that'll get the last hit, but nonetheless, Josh lives, and Frost takes a spill. And it's now a 3v2. They look to be more content to go for the Stygian Beacon rather than the Gold Fury, but still a win, net win. Maybe not as intensely as a Gold Fury would have been, but a win's a win.
Yeah, Chaos Side might have taken the L in the kill department on that one, but Scream made a very smart play there with the blink in. He kind of knew he didn't have any ability to steal that. Steal potential on his team isn't the highest with the Uller, so he said, I'm going to ult all three. We'll get an ult out. I'll try and stall this out. Order Side should have come up much bigger on that, but due to the smart play by Scream to start that off,
Speaking of smart plays, I'm not necessarily sure this is one of them.
Yeah, Destroyer keeping up that pressure when he not necessarily should be. Now this should be a Pyro from the Chaos side. Pandora's just going to choose to farm instead. Swervy is pushing down on that solo side. They're going to see what they can make happen.
Yorm a bit off the mark, unfortunately. I think if he hits the one, he can full commit safely there, but not so currently. And we have 3 stacks on Karen's coin coming out from the Yu Huang right now, and I think that's very important because we all know how safe Yu Huang is. So if any of those stacks are movement speed, actually even if they're health, it's just potent ability to stay in the fight. Also, I believe that's 22 stacks on tablet right now, so she is moving right along with her damage boost here. Oh, we see a reach steal from Athena. No, we will not. I believe Rat Dash is what secured that. And Athena's a bit in trouble here. Swoop through space and time actually does not hit any of the walls near her, so she will be having difficulty getting away, but she does manage to counter ult the Ares ult, and the mitigations are enough to keep her nice and safe. Although, Bastet gets caught by the Jormungandr invisibility, and now Athena's in trouble as a result of it. Will we see Peel? We will, but it doesn't matter because the true damage coming out from the tablet is enough from Pandora to secure Athena. Going back to it, now Rat is in the Cosmos, and even though he goes through them, he chooses safety as his primary objective here.
Yeah, smart play from that Athena to stay alive. Unfortunately, it just doesn't keep her through until the end. She tried to go back in for a re-engagement taunt, and it put her in a bad spot.
But this Rat build, I gotta say, he's committed to the bit here. A Dragoon gets that's not a solo kill. He just picks off Ares invading the green buff. That okay. I don't really think we have anything else to analyze there. However, Pandora's
choice from Scream there. They did buff the Ares 3, so he is a little bit easier to clear waves than most Guardians on the map. But that is a strong choice to bounce back from that fight for a green buff steal. Dragoon on soloing Gold Fury right now until the rest of his team can get to him.
It would appear they're giving this up. Brad is in right lane, and Bastet and Josh are doing some zone duty in mid lane. They've forced Pandora back, so it does seem like at least Chaos side is content just to kind of take their unfortunate Ares misplay, and I don't know where that Bastet's going, but they don't seem to mind her jumping aggressively back into the or well, I guess canceling her jump to go back into their jungle. But Josh actually seems to be getting a bit caught out here, getting a lot of protection shredded, a lot of damage coming through, but the 3's off the mark. Ares, however, is not off the mark. He's hitting some fantastic chains right now. Forces Josh into... I actually don't know the name of this ability. We just... Colossal Fury. I do know the name of that ability. So forces out the Vamana ult, and now
everybody likes to call Big Baby anyways. You could stick with that.
I was going to say Big Baby, yeah. That was where I was going with that. Interestingly, Ullr is level 19 now, so we did mention multiple times how 2-3 levels behind, but everyone hits level 20 eventually, and if you look at the level disparity on his team as opposed to in the his lane alone, they're actually ahead 1 or 2 levels in every single role. So that means his level disparity, and he actually does the level 20 as I say that too. So it's actually interesting that because they've been playing the map a bit more efficiently, they've managed to keep this lead across the map despite Dragoon's presence in the dual lane being 5-1-5.
Yeah, big credit goes to Yosoyu for staying in this. He was sitting 0-4 at one point in this game. Never lost a level of disadvantage. He's sitting a little behind on the gold, but nothing crazy. But right now he's farming. Dragoon is picking up kills on the other side of the map. That's a big kill on Jay Swervy.
Now we have some Cosmos action that's about to happen here. We do have an immediate through space and time response, which is also a heal decision. And then we have the Scorching Blink kill. I have not said that in a very long time. The Scorching Blink kill to come out from Scream. An aggressive jump in from Yotsuyu. He's looking for it. Does the cat secure him? No, it does not. And
the Blink.
The Blink. 2 Blink kills across the map.
Yep.
Interesting.
So you almost turned that around for a second there, but Jose does not miss his abilities often.
That jump damage, I feel like that could have even been the difference maker. You know, you hit that jump damage, she's pretty much within an auto. Now, interestingly, Destroyer does not have beads here, or he does have beads. He let himself get pulled by that Ares for fun, I guess. I'm actually not really sure. But Jormungandr is about to make an appearance on the scene of the crime, and there he goes. And then, as I say that, the Cosmos are also being, once again, gone through. And Frost... Oh, actually, he could catch up now because Jormungandr fantastic ult coming out to cancel the Vamana dash, and J-Swervy secures the kill as a result with another fantastic Yuhong ult. Again, I believe it's dueling dragons, so a fantastic set of dragons coming out from Pandora. Doesn't get any kills, but does get them to back off, which does secure Stygian Beacon for Chaos side. I was right, dueling dragons. It's a Rocket League goal in Smite. That's what we like to say here. I've always wanted to get good at that ult just because I really like that gold explosion. For anyone that plays Rocket League, you get the reference. For the rest of you, don't worry about it.
You called out Josh from Asia on those prophetic stacks early in the game. He's still only sitting at 23 at 25 minutes. And with him going the Quinn size, he's going to be looking a little rougher wear with all these dives now. As long as the Chaos side is able to respond to that, we're going to keep seeing these plays on the Vamana where they're able to shred him down pretty easily.
Also, I just want to give a quick shout out because while we have a lull in the action, we have our lovely Wolfie on the camera duty. So this is not possible. So without them, so just shout outs because they're doing a fantastic job and making my life easy, honestly, by showing me all the things that are happening on the map and as well as Sunrise. Now, I do want to point out the breastplate that Jormungandr just picked up because that's a massive boost to anti-healing that they just put online. And while that may not affect Bastet or Yana, well, actually Bastet is Soul Eater, so let me eat my words there. But it won't affect Giannis or Athena. It's going to affect the other three because they do have or I should say, healing or lifesteal of some kind in their kit, and they're just going to be feeding the Jormungandr with that every time he touches them. Now, Frost
Yeah,
touches in
hurts the Vamana, hurts the Bastet. Frost knows that he has that emphatically tank build right now. He's not going to go down easily.
And we got a pull in from Ares, but it does seem like he's losing the battle a little bit. Bastet whiff salt, so that's a notch in favor. And then we get Dueling Dragons that I'm not sure if she was going for Athena or Titans or both, but she did seem to get a lot of, and Athena dashed right into the Jormungandr, so she's going to take a tumble there. Jaystory, however, is also going to take a spill, and we're going to see if Dragoon can make it to that portal. He can, and he will escape for now. However, Elfrost says, nice to see you. Have a safe trip. Back to the fountain.
Phenomenal turnaround from Yotoyu.
He really is putting in the work in these team fights. I haven't necessarily noticed the axe stuns, but I'm sure he's hitting them because there's not actually a lot of hard CC that isn't an Ares on the team. Like there's a lot of there's knockups from there's a knockup from Yorm and Rat. There's technically a knockup from Yuhong, but I don't think we use Yuhong 3-2 commonly for knockup. But in terms of stuns, there's only two. There's Rat and then there's Uller. So to see them consistently securing these kills with relative ease tells me that he's hitting these stuns every single team fight. And this Phoenix, they missed the bomb on the bird, so I'm not sure it's going to be as easy now. Athena does get a really nice dash taunt here, or I should say just regular taunt because she dashed out, and the dragons do not find their home, but the Uller 3 does, the Hail of Arrows does, and unfortunately the Acorns don't. So now we're going to see Elfrost get chastened down. I'm not actually sure which section of that verb to use. But he is going to fall, nonetheless, regardless of which way I'm going to say it. And Yatsuki's just using abilities the way that full cooldown Uller does, but he is unfortunately also going to fall to Destroyer. So, bit of a comeback, I would say, from Dragoon's team, but they did still lose a bird.
That fight was a hard swing for Chaos side. We were sitting very even for a vast majority of this game. The Athena unfortunately finds herself in a bad position again, and Chaos side absolutely makes them suffer for it. Now we're sitting at a 6k gold lead and a 9k experience lead for the red team.
And as you mentioned, it actually could have gone worse for Dragoon side, for the Order side, because Chaos missed the bomb on the Phoenix, so the Phoenix would have died even quicker, and they wouldn't have had to commit so much to killing it. So, bit of a misplay, but they still did get the bird. And overall, just a successful bit of map presence they have. They have a lot of wards now on the right side near Fire Giant. They're roaming around in the jungle here looking for some type of advantage to then pull said Fire Giant. Rat is actually full build, has literally everything online, is into the upgrade relics section of the build. Jaystory seems to be looking a little bit aggressive here, tries to go on the Hachi in the backline. Doesn't necessarily get too much damage out, but is going to go into the ult to stay safe here. Pandora gets a fantastic shot. I believe that was her one that secured Giannis there for secured Destroyer. Another wonderful shot to get the double kill. And Dragoon did manage to survive. Elfrost is very low in the base. I believe he fire blinked for like a centimeter right there, but it seemed to have worked out. Oh no, he has his blink up. That was weird. Oh, he's lagging. That's what it is. I can see a little bit of jittering there. I was like, did he just blink? But Scream is a bit of trouble here, but he's actually stalling. Right now, this is a whole fight. This entire fight is a distraction. Pandora is very healthy, so she can keep them at bay and hopefully prevent them from getting over here, while Yotsuyu and J-Swervy secure the Fire Giant, which, if they wait 5 seconds, they get EFG, but as I say that, they don't wait those 5 seconds. So they are going to secure fire, but it's not EFG, which is
He made a
okay.
very smart play there. He took the L for the Fire Giant rather than leading him straight to him. He says, "I'm just going to dance around in the mid lane, take the death, give my team Fire Giant."
And shout outs to my boy, okay? I said it around 10 minutes ago that I hope he goes for Spectral. And look what we have here. Last item areas is a Spectral armor. And also last item on Hachi is a Deathbringer. Now, as I say that, Hachi's going to show us why that Deathbringer matters. Because he did kill Elfrost and he almost killed J-Story. J-Story is very low. Destroyer may be able to chase this down. He is going to have his blink up. He misses, unfortunately. A lot of damage coming out from Yorm. This could be a big hit, but he portals the ground. Very intelligent play coming out, and it's just a matter of time. It was a good attempt, but the outplay from Destroyer, I actually, with the Sunder and the 3 pulls, I think his 2 might have killed Giannis, even though he's only it was half health.
Destroyer showing you he knows exactly how to use those portals, though. He's used those more efficiently than he's used his beads this game.
That is actually true. He's gotten Ares pulled twice with beads up, so you're right. You're definitely right. Similarly, speaking of Ares pulls,
right now.
Nothing doing. Just I believe that was Bastet, beads, and Hachiman so just a trading of a couple things there. And Ares did use blink there, but it's up in 2 minutes, so shouldn't be too bad for him. On the contrary, he's hitting, once again, he's hitting these chains. He's getting a lot of good damage here, and even though Pandora misses there, she does get some good damage on Athena. Now, Destroyer looking for the style moves, does not land it, unfortunately, but Ares is still a bit out of position here. And notably, right Phoenix, actually, it's a 1v1 between Elfrost and Joshua Asia, but it would seem it's kind of just a moot point there. Now, the dragons are not a moot point. They do hit quite hard, and there goes Athena with a fantastic play from Pandora to peel out Yotsuyu, actually. And speaking of peel, the best form of CC is death, as they say. And there goes Destroyer back to the fountain. Another fantastic engage.
Pandora dropped him there.
Absolutely catastrophic fight here for Dragoon's team. They just go in 1 by 1, unfortunately, and they are not able to do anything about this. Joshua Asia will fall, and that is nobody on the map for 30 seconds. I think that's game.
Yeah, just when it looked like Order side was getting back into this, they have a beautiful defense in mid lane. They don't even bother to let things go down to the Phoenix. They take a fight 3v4, pushing it while Josh from Asia is doing what he can on that right side. Chaos bounces back phenomenally on the retreat.
I gotta say, I think there was a bit of disrespect thrown towards Pandora here, because I'm not seeing, other than the Heart Ward and 1 Shoguns, I'm not seeing a ton of defense towards this Yu Huang. And with maxed out triple books, I think that's just, you can't ignore that type of damage here. I mean, as you can see, top player damage actually surpassed Dragoon, most likely due to that last fight. Surpassed Dragoon in player damage. Definitely, even though we didn't talk too much other than the pretty fantastic mid-game and late-game dueling dragons that she threw out, she was just kind of just under the radar, slowly getting her way to late game, and then right when it mattered, huge abilities, huge team fights, and huge damage. Take pretty much the reason that the Athena on Pog wasn't able to do what she wanted to do. She was always poked to half health, always backing up, and 41,000 damage out of your mid laner compared to Giannis on the 26. Destroyer had pressure, but he just couldn't convert it late game. Not the same way that Pandora converted her more farm, more tactical playstyle.
Yeah, certainly MVP of the game goes to Pandora. With all the Giannis pressure that was pushing down, she made sure she was never far behind in farm and in levels. Actually, in a large portion of that game, we were seeing her lead the gold in that mid lane, especially when going against such a strong contender as Destroyer.
Well, do you have anything else to add, Samurai? Because I think we could just wrap this up here, because honestly, if we just could see the builds real quick, I do want to point out a couple of key things that may have affected that. So as we can see here, Athena went War Flag as opposed to Ares going the more like very tank oriented. Now Ares granted did buy prophetic third and didn't finish it, but you know, all of that heavy defense that he's constantly sharing with his teammates, plus the fact that he's a tank rat tusker, I think really was a mitigating part of the heavy, I should say staunch aggression from the top side here. I'll
Yeah,
call it
Frost's
as top
ability
side,
to
top
get
side.
in and survive, more importantly than anything, is the big difference maker. I have to give huge credit to Scream here as that secondary MVP. The stats don't necessarily reflect it, unfortunately. That's the life of a support. But Scream was making those big plays, making sure that if he took an L, his team was coming out on the other side big on that. 21k damage compared to the 9k damage from the Athena.
Actually,
Scream,
out damages ADC.
yeah, he outdamaged his ADC. Uller was sitting pretty far behind for a vast majority of that game, and so you did everything that he could to stay involved. He kept up a pretty decent gold per minute, considering everything that was going down in his lane.
He actually, and notably, outgolded 4 of the enemies. So, I mean, that may be because of, you know, overall team lead that they had, but having more gold spooling than the enemy mid laner as a Giannis, like, that's, it claps, you know, hats off to him. He really played that well. And I think once that Spectral came online, he really just had the ability to just be in the team fight, and he made good use of his health bar, like you mentioned with the fire giant. Once they pulled that fire giant, he was there, he was ready to sacrifice himself, and he walked away from his team. He made sure that if you're gonna kill me, if you're gonna send me back to the fountain, you're gonna choose either me or the fire giant, and they chose him.
But as predicted for the Celestial match, it was an absolute banger, nail to nail at the vast majority of the game. Chaos was just able to pull it out into the side. Pandora's team taking the win.
Yeah, and I, you know, other than Jay Swervy having 1 ward, I'm gonna throw flack at him because 1 ward in the solo lane, man, what are you doing? But and also Pandora having 12 wards. That's crazy that she almost has top wards in game, and everyone else is single digits except for Athena, who's, you know, of course going to ward consistently. Good for her. But yeah, other than that, I think we have a fantastic game here, so I hope everybody enjoyed. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Please leave us a comment down below and tell us who your MVP of the game was, because we told you our picks, but I'm sure we have some Dragoon fans out there. I'm sure we have some people that think Jose was overlooked this entire game. So let us know your comments down below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. We are going to be uploading so much more content in the future. We're hopefully not going to burn Wolfie out here because they've done a fantastic job, but we're going to do our best to give you nothing but the best here at Amaterasu's presence. As always, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you for tuning in. And Sunrise, please do me a favor. Give me a sign off.
It's been SunriseSamuraii. That's Jimmy. Hopefully, we're streaming a couple more games this evening. Glad that you guys can join us. Have a nice night.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.